where I am. God is where I stand. God is standing strong where I breathe. God is breathing life in and out and through me. As me, where I sing. God is where I dance. Joy lifts my feet. Where I live, beauty's flowing free, in and out and through me. As me, for where I doubt, God is the faith in me. Where I cry, God is the comfort there. Where I seek, God is the answer. Here and now, forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, I just did it.
Good morning, everyone. Those who are gathered here at Interprod in Eagleville. Eagleville, is this the right day to be in? Eagleville.
Eagleville.
Woo, thank you. Fly, Eagles fly. Well, welcome everyone. We're so glad to be gathered in person, which we are so fortunate.
Dr. Maxine, can you make sure your mic is on?
Make sure my mic is on. That would help. Sorry, I thought it was ready to go. All right. Oh, here it comes. There it is. There's the little red light. Wow, I feel very powerful now. So it's delightful to be gathered in person. Those of you who were able to come with us to be here right now in Eagleville, we get to be together here. We get to be together a couple of times a month, and it's often been here. And we're so grateful to Suzanne and Rick, there we go, Smethers, to be willing to allow us to come here. We are blessed, and I think we're a blessing to the space too. This is a medical device production facility, and isn't it wonderful that we bring metaphysical energy to the place as well, and we're very grateful to Rick and Suzanne. So wherever you are in the world, and you may be all kinds of places, because in addition to meeting here together, we are live streaming. So wherever you are, you're so welcome here. This is a place of transformation. The Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living is a place of peace. It's a place of love. It's a place of possibility. It's a place where we learn, teach, and practice the principles of science of mind that our beloved Dr. Ernest Holmes brought to us about 100 years ago. And it just gets better, because as we practice our philosophy and share it with each other, lives change, hearts are healed, beautiful manifestations take place, not only in our personal lives, but we're making a difference in the world itself. And we're going to continue to do that, because we are all about creating a world that works for everyone, creating a world that works for all. Starting, of course, with ourselves. There's every reason in the world for a spirit to express through each of us in such a way that we live loving, bountiful, beautiful lives. And then that makes a difference, like pebbles in a pond, going out and making a difference in the world. So we are gathering virtually and personally. And isn't it wonderful that we have all of these options? You know, some of the things that came out of COVID were really quite good and quite useful, like the live streaming, like the Zoom classes and so forth. So we're just expanding our possibilities, and I really like looking at it from that perspective. So as we continue to utilize and celebrate our practices, we learn with each other, we teach each other, we walk together along the path of our spiritual evolutionary process. And what we are all about in Centers for Spiritual Living, which is our worldwide organization, is awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And how wonderful is that? It's wonderful. We also have a purpose statement that our board developed quite a few years ago. We haven't changed it. Why? Because it's perfect, at least for now. And so I invite you to say it with me. Remember it. It goes like this: living, loving, learning, spirituality that works. Amen. And so now we're going to have an opening song by beloved Michael Gott, and it is called God is Love.
God is love, moving within you. God is peace, living in me. God is here, breathe in the the glory, hear the hope, see the grace, feel the touch. God is love. When life has a question, our heart knows the answer. For every closed door, we hold the key. Open your soul. There is a river flowing forever, abundant and free. God is love, moving within you. God is peace, living in me. God is here, breathe in the glory, hear the hope, see the grace, feel the touch. God is love. When fear tries to blind you and dark clouds surround you, love has a voice that calms every storm. Open your arms and love those around you, and here in this moment your healing is born. God is love, moving within you. God is peace, living in me. God is here, breathe in the glory, hear the hope, see the grace, feel the touch. God is love, God is love, God is love, God is love. God is love, moving within you. God is peace, living in me. God is here, breathe in the glory, hear the hope, see the grace, feel the touch. Hear the hope, see the grace, feel the touch. Hear the hope, see the grace, feel the touch. God is love. Thank you.
Listening ears on today because we're going through some changes here with our audiovisual, but wasn't it wonderful to listen to that? Before I speak to the kids of all ages, I want to once again thank with all my heart all of you who made last Sunday so remarkable, while Rev Mike and I stayed home another day. And it was good. It was perfect. Dr. Hazel Spears was awesome. And all of you working with her were amazing. And I'm so grateful to everyone who made us realize that we really aren't indispensable. Thank you. It was wonderful. So now, kids, I don't know if I can do as well as last week's Wee Wisdom person did, because Edie Janik just amazed us and delighted us, and it was awesome. But I'll do my best. Now, there is a decades-old legend that comes perhaps either from the Lenape or the Cherokee nations, And many of you have probably heard it already. It's about the battle of the two wolves. Does that sound familiar? Okay, well, this was a great brave who was speaking to his grandson. And he said, of all the battles that go on in the world, the greatest battle of all is the one within us. Oh, Grandpa, what is that? Grandpa said, it's as if there are two wolves within you. And one wolf is about love and compassion and fairness. And the other one is about greed and hate and selfishness. And they're in a battle within each of us. But Grandpa, which wolf will win the battle? Grandpa wisely replied, the one that you feed. See, kids, we all have these different emotions within us. And sometimes we feel kind of selfish and our ego is up there and we become an egopotamus. And it's all about me, me, me. That's the one wolf. And the other wolf is like, God is love, just as Michael Gott just sang. That love dwells within us. It is the very essence of us, and it is that which we wish, that energy that we wish to use to connect with other people and make our lives better and make the world a better place too. So let's continue to choose the right one. I love that story, and I think it's very true and filled with wisdom. Now, some of you may have heard that this is Super Bowl Sunday, that our Eagles, you notice there's a lot of green around here today. I love it. That the Eagles are playing the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, it's not that there's two wolves here for me, but my son does live in Kansas City. So we've had some cute discussions about it. Of course, Divine Right activity is taking place. But that starts at 6:30 Eastern Time, and of course we're all going to be there, rah-rah, having a good time from here. But there's something else that happens today. At 2 o'clock, and it would be fun to watch that. This was actually recorded, videoed in October in New York. It's called the Puppy Bowl. Do you know about the Puppy Bowl? And these are, it's to bring awareness about taking a puppy or a kitten home from the SPCA or wherever it is where it needs a home. But the Puppy Bowl, there's two teams. One is Team Rough and one is Team Fluff. And they have a little football and they run and they're all dressed up with little scarves and everything. And everybody wins. And of course, everybody wins when these puppies are taken home and given a beautiful home. Isn't that great? The Puppy Bowl. And they also give out the Lombardi Prize. So make sure you watch the 2 o'clock Puppy Bowl. It's on Animal Planet. And then watch the Eagles game, not on Animal Planet. So enjoy. I'm glad that we've got everybody here who needs to be here today and everybody who's listening who's out there. And now we're going to move into meditation time. How about meditation? Look, everybody's getting relaxed. Everybody's taking deep breaths. Like, oh, this is our quiet time. There are no wolves here. This is the time to come into the center of all centers, which is so deep within our hearts. And we feel the rhythm of life, and we hear the beautiful chords converging within our hearts and our minds, our bodies, our world of experience. And we simply say thank you to this world of experience and just leave it for a short time. For as we come into the heart of our hearts, where God abides in fullness, we surrender to the love. We surrender to the divine activity, pure spirit, expressing in, through, and as us. Love is the essence of our being, for we are created of that divine essence, which is pure love. And it is the authentic self within us. Oh, how sweet it is to return to this place now, where God abides in fullness, and love welcomes us in a divine embrace. There is nothing to do but be and to rest in this infinite presence of love and compassion and infinite possibility. Within us is the divine guidance, and we are led by the divine presence of love and compassion, always to make the right choice, to move forward, knowing we are not ever alone, but that this presence fills, surrounds, nurtures, and guides us always. If there is a question in your heart or a challenge that you are ready to have resolved, come into the quietness, the silence for a moment, and offer that up on the high altar of consciousness while we are just still for a moment, and listen with the ear of our heart. How grateful we are to be the recipients of all solutions, of all answers, of all healings and revealing of truth. God is love. That love surrounds us. In that love we safely dwell. It's above, beneath, within us. God is love, and all is well. Thank you, Frank. What a beautiful way to begin. You bring peace out from the center of our hearts. You might want to have a little light now, because I am going to call forth our practitioner of the day, practitioner number 1, Joe Lurquin, for an opening talk and treatment.
Thank you, Maxine, and thank you, Frank, for that wonderful music. Good morning. My name is Joe Lurquin, and I am a practitioner with the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome to today's celebration. I'd like to read the following 2 quotes from Ernest Holmes. When you want to do a big thing, get the mental pattern. Make it perfect. Know just what it means. Enlarge your thought. Keep it to yourself. Pass it over to the creative power behind all things. Wait and listen. And when the impression comes, follow it with assurance. Don't talk to anyone about it. Never listen to negative talk or pay attention to it, and you will succeed where all others have failed. Love is within us. It cannot be destroyed. It can be ignored. To the extent that we abandon love, we will feel it has abandoned us. Denying love is our only problem. And embracing it is the only answer. Through the power of love, we can let go the past history and begin again. Love heals, forgives, and makes whole. I'll state this treatment in the first person. You may take it for yourself if you wish. This is what I know. I know that there is only one source, one wonderful being, one wonderful thought that is the one that is part of all and who and what we really are. I know that this one is God. This one is the I am of everything. I know that I am part of this I am, for I am of it, for there can be nothing else but part of the I am. And I know this is the truth. And I know that everything within me is glowing brighter and brighter each day with the light of the love and the life that was within me. And I know that I bring this forth to everyone, to all other beings that are around me, that all that I can affect, that all I can know. For I know that I am the perfection of the one. And I know that God is always standing beside me, always standing there ready to help in whatever I need and whatever is what is important to me right here and right now. I know the peace, the power, and the love that is within every one of us. And I know that all things, the joy and the beauty are abundant all around. And I bring these forth and enthusiastically bring these forth to everyone that I meet and everyone that I come in contact with. And I'm very grateful for this teaching and for this knowing, for knowing that God is always there, and knowing that that light within me is going brighter and brighter each day, affecting more and more people as I bring my thoughts and my word and my knowing to the world. I know this is the truth. And I release this knowing it is already done, it is already complete, as we say together. And so it is.
Thank you, Joe. And yes, your love light shines brighter every day. Now, typically, some of you have your affirmation that we're going to be reading together. And whoa, see, I told you it was getting brighter every day. But since we are to the great out there people, more audible than visible today. Yeah, but what we're going to do is, thank you, is I'm going to ask you and anyone out there in Radioland to repeat each part of it after me. I think that would be an easy way to do it. So this is our affirmation for today, starting with, I'll say it, I'll ask you to repeat it if you wish. Truly the greatest of these is love.
Truly the greatest of these is love.
I embody this holy essence.
I embody this holy essence.
And express it in all I do.
And express it in all I do.
See, that worked well. Thank you. Good. Well, it just must be time to talk about being led by love. I love being led by love. Our theme for this year is building a new consciousness. That means individually and it means collectively. We, as a beloved community here, and the greater world itself. And the theme for February continues to be motivation. How do we motivate ourselves and one another to build this new consciousness? And of course, we do have Valentine's Day coming up in a couple of days. And it's much bigger than that, though. You know, St. Valentine somehow had to lose his head in order to marry people at a time that he wasn't supposed to be marrying them. But we don't need to lose our heads when we're entering into this divine expression of love and bringing it into beautiful human form. Thank you, Payson. Did you hear anything I said? Because I don't want to say it again. Thank you. Okay, so today's quote, supporting my talk, Led by Love, is from, of course, Dr. Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind. The essence of love, while elusive, pervades everything, fires the heart, stimulates the emotions, renews the soul, and proclaims the spirit. That's the truth about love. And the more we bring that essence of divine love into our human relationships, the happier and more beautiful they are. Okay, so of all the paths to follow, have you noticed there are a lot of paths to follow in this world? A lot of paths to follow. Love is the wisest and the kindest and the most successful of all. And that's what we're talking about. I like to ask the question in a perplexing situation or a confusing problem. What would love do? It's a simple thing that brings us right back to our heart's wise choices. What would love do? That's always the right question. So, when a challenging situation occurs, I like to stop, look, and listen. We were taught that as children, right? Let's bring it up to another level now. I want to stop and take a breath. Sometimes that in itself is all that is necessary to bring us back to center and to follow the right path. Stop, take a breath. One thing that taking a breath does is that it circulates that perfect life within us so that we think more clearly and we feel in a more calm manner and we act more appropriately. And taking that breath often is the best way not to say what might have been hurtful instead of uplifting. So stop, breathe. Look. What are we looking at her for? We want to look through the appearance that seems challenging, negative, hurtful, scary, whatever. Look through the appearance. And what do we want to see? We want to see the love. Michael Gott sang for us, God is love. Did you get that? That love is the essence of the divine. It is the essence of the universe. And no matter how things look in the world, it is the essence of all life. Therefore, it is the essence of each and every one of us. So as we see through the appearance of the unlovely behavior or the frightening circumstances, the conflicts, the wars, the earthquakes, the devastation, the division, as we're willing to stand in our truth, to see through those not pretty appearances, and to see the underlying harmony and love, we're making a difference. First, within our own consciousness, we can move peacefully and powerfully. Because remember, we are not at all interested in the love of power. We are vitally interested in the power of love. And the power of love is that which affects the changes we wish. So we stop, breathe, look through the appearances to the truth, to the love that really is present. We're inviting it to come forth. And then we listen. What are we listening for? We're listening for the guidance. And we follow it. We allow ourselves to be led by love. Isn't that a simple approach? I wonder why more of us aren't doing it more of the time. Well, we get involved in the world situations. We get involved with what our beloved Dr. J. Scott Neal used to say, the nincompoopery. And there's plenty of it there in the world. But it isn't true, it isn't real, it isn't lasting, it is not where we want to focus our attention. So, even tense or frightening situations can be diffused. I may have already told you some time ago about our beloved Dr. Frank Richelieu in Redondo Beach, who came and followed Dr. Barnum when he left. He told the true story about when he was in university, and one of his professors was extremely angry. He was filled with rage for whatever reason. I don't know if it had anything to do with Dr. Frank or if he just happened to be handy. But Dr. Frank was standing there in the hallway, and this professor started walking toward him, marching toward him, stomping toward him, angry. Dr. Frank had been studying science of mind long enough to know what to do. He stood there, and he looked at this professor with nothing but love in his heart. And the professor was yelling and screaming all kinds of things, but the closer he got to Dr. Richelieu, the quieter he became, and the words were no longer making sense. He was kind of stuttering, babbling. Love changes everything. It changes everything. I have a wonderful example. You're familiar with the wonderful Reverend Howard Thurman. He was a mentor to Martin Luther King, actually. And at one point, Reverend Thurman had a neighbor who would throw food waste, garbage, over the fence to his backyard. So rather skillfully, Reverend Thurman planted a tree right where this was happening. And years later, as an apple tree grew there, and the tension between the neighbors softened, he delivered an apple pie to those very neighbors. Do you see how making a choice for love can not only diffuse situations, but it can establish good, fruitful, respectful, loving relationships, where they may have gone in an entirely different direction had we bought into that negative energy. Can we learn a way beyond anger? Of course. Can we move from resentment and revenge to reviewing and reciprocity? Of course we can. We are designed that way. We are divine beings, and here we are in these fun human bodies. Let's enjoy them. Let's enjoy our human activities. Like last night, oh my goodness, many of us went to see Once Upon a Mattress. It was a delightful, delightful production by Harmony Theater right here, very locally, and our own Jeff Messino was Prince Dauntless. And our own Emily Zoll was Lady Larkin. And they were fabulous. The whole show was fabulous. We laughed until we cried. It was just amazing. And so we have delightful human experiences. Let's enjoy them. And let's never forget that we are divine beings expressing in this way. And let's bring the highest and the best of ourselves, our authentic self, as often as possible to whatever we may be doing at the time. Love inspires us. Divine love inspires us. And it fills the human relationships when we bring it forth in that way. And it is the way that humanity will ultimately find its way home to its divinity. Because we truly are in the process of awakening everyone to its spiritual, his and hers and their spiritual magnificence. Remember what Cornel West said. Justice is what love looks like in public. We can compost those wasteful emotions, and we can grow something beautiful. Let's take a page out of Reverend Thurman's book. and let's compost the negative emotions, and let's allow the energy to be transformed into something that can create, co-create something more of our liking in our world. Gandhi referred to soul force, remember? Soul force, when he was working in India. And it was it was important that he was freeing the Indian people from oppression. But it was even more important that he was helping people generate this soul force. What is the soul force? It's the power of love. It's the power of love. It is soul force. And in a recent symposium at UPenn called Gently Shaking the World. Do you love that? Gently shaking the world. That's what we need to be doing. Nipon Mehta, who was the founder of Service Space, proposed the word, which I'd love to share with you, because these are activists, but they're coming from love, and so the word is heartivism. Will you say that with me? Heartivism. Making changes by beginning in our hearts, where the presence of love is so strong. It's letting love lead us to a third way. When we think it's got to be this or that. Someone's going to win, someone's going to lose. You're wrong, I'm right. We've got to move through the divisiveness and entertain the idea of a third way. We don't even need to know ahead of time what that's going to be. And yet when we allow ourselves to be led by our hearts, it will show itself to us. We can be creative with something we never thought of before. That way, between two right positions, and don't people really get into I'm right? And how can you be? Because I am. When we go beyond those two right positions, and we're looking for a healthy resolution, it's there. We're inviting it to come forward. We have the power to do that. And we may not have been exercising it as much as we could, but let's start doing that more and more, just a little more each day, a little more each day. It's not winning or losing. This evening, there'll be some of that. But it's not winning or losing, but finding wholesome and respectful connections. Let's all deepen our divine channels and become heart activists as we invite and celebrate love leading the way. So will you say with me, I am a heartivist.
I am a heartivist.
I bring love to every encounter.
I bring love to every encounter.
I am working with my beloveds.
I am working with my beloveds
to co-create a world that truly works for all.
to co-create a world that truly works for all.
Oh, you're good. And so, my beloveds, beginneth our lesson. Oh, thank you. And I applaud our prosperity, and I'm celebrating our abundance right now. This is the time that we get to share of our good. It's the time that we get to return to Source. And I love to return a portion of all the great gifts that Source gives to me by tithing a portion of that to my beloved center. Whatever is the closest source of food for you, spiritual food, that's where we like to give, and that's where I like to give. So I'm going to invite you to repeat a few things after me. God is the source of my supply.
God is the source of my supply.
I celebrate the circulation of divine good.
Celebrate the circulation of divine good.
As I give, so I receive.
As I give, so I receive.
I am grateful the divine bounty is expressing through me.
I am grateful the divine bounty is expressing through me.
It enhances my beloved center,
It enhances my beloved center,
and it brings love visibly and audibly into the world.
Brings love visibly and audibly into the world.
And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you.
I could sing about mistakes I've made, broken hearts and broken wings. I could sing about my aches and pains and the one that got away. But it seems to me the world has its hurts to spare. Shadows are everywhere. I decided I've cried enough. There's plenty of songs about tough luck. I'm gonna sing about love. Gonna sing about love. Lift somebody up instead of talking about tough luck. I can't deny I still dream about the glory, the Grammy, the gold. I cannot lie, I still wish sometimes my eyes and my heart would close. But it seems to me my family escaped the war, and they never sang anymore. They lost everything they had. And if a song is all I can give back, I'm gonna sing about love. Whoa. Gonna sing about love. Whoa. Lift somebody up. Lift somebody up. Gonna sing about love. Whoa. Instead of talking about tough luck. Whoa, no more tough luck. Tell you what I'm gonna do. Gonna take my cue from a few folks I look up to. I'm gonna sing about love. Stevie Wonder sings in the key of life. Bobby McFerrin says be happy, it'll be alright. Marvin Gaye showed the way to what's going on. It's a wonderful world thanks to Louis Armstrong. Soul Asylum saved those runaway kids. John Lennon just imagining the whole world did. John Denver took the sky with Tina Turner to the sea. Stevie Wonder went to a higher love. John Legend and Comet to freedom. DC is gonna overcome. Bob Marley just smiled at the rising sun. Eminem will lose himself before the moment's gone. Miss Jackson knows the knowledge is what we want. Gloria Gaynor maintained that we're gonna survive. Tim McGraw wants us to live like we are dying. Aretha got R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Bette Midler from a distance, the whole world we see. Tom Petty free falls. Leanne hopes we dance. Josh Grover raises up. If we're hurting, R.E.M. understands. Irving B. bless the USA. Van Morrison ushered in a brand new day. Whitney sang about the greatest love of all. Johnny Nash can see clearly now the rain won't fall. Kate knows we're beautiful. Christina does too. Rihanna sees us shining like a diamond. We keep walking like the Foo Fighters. Fight the power public enemy said. Miley is a climber. Andy Graham keeps his head up. Bill Withers, we can lean on him. Natasha's unrich. Taylor Swift shakes it off again. Lady Gaga was born this way. Jason Mraz, truly glad to be our friend today. The Black Eyed Peas wonder where is the love. Desiree gotta be. Journey never stop believing in us. Simon over troubled water made a bridge. Elton John lit a candle for Diana, he did. It's the same love. Macklemore was moved to pray. Izzy made a rainbow with an ukulele. James Brown, loud and proud. Bruce Hornsby laid it out the way it is. Queen made us into champions. You too. Dr. King and the power of one. Sam Cooke made you look. Change is gonna come. Peter Gabriel ain't giving up on us just yet. We are the world saved lives. No star they couldn't get. Irene Cara, what a feeling alive. Pharrell made us happy. Katy Perry lit a firework in the sky. Carole King, we've got a friend. Switchfoot dared us all to move again. Paul McCartney's words of wisdom were to let it be. And the weight of the world was taken off by Aloe Black and Avicii. So what you gonna do? So what do I do? What you gonna do? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sing about love. Sing about love. Lift somebody up. Instead of talking about tough luck, I'm gonna sing about love.
Hello, everyone. I'm over here. Hi. I'm going to be addressing the camera as well. I'm Payson Burt, Vice President of your Board of Trustees, and I'm here with today's announcements. The The first thing I would like to say is today's celebration is being sponsored by Jane Downey. Yeah, thank you, Jane. Jane, would you like to? We have the microphone up there. If you'd like to say something.
Sure.
Okay, very good. And I can move the camera around too.
We're so fancy. Let's go Birds.
Yay.
The only 2 games they lost this year were the games I didn't watch. So I will be watching. So I've lost a lot of people recently. So I thought I would just acknowledge those that have crossed over. 2 out of 7 of them were in their 50s. So I want to acknowledge Patty and Candace, Mike, Brian, and Jane, who I met at CSL in Silmar many, many years ago. Maggie actually knows her. She used to cut his hair in San Francisco. And then we lost my cousin Ellen when she was very young, in her 20s. So I'm just I want to acknowledge them, and I know they're in a good place. And I'm looking forward to us all are in new beginnings.
Thank you, Jane. If you would like to sponsor a Sunday, it's a great way to support our center in honor of someone or something special in your life for a donation of $150. Any individuals or groups can sponsor a Sunday. If you would like to sponsor, simply contact the office or email Linda at admin@cslphilly.com. The board is excited and actively working on all sorts of new and wonderful things, like guest speakers like we had last week, and more live music and all sorts of things. So we are having a meeting coming up, and we will have a lot more information for you probably next week. So, but look forward to it. We have 2 new classes available starting in March. First, joined Dr. Maxine in a 4-week course called Creative Relationships on Tuesdays, March 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th. You notice most of our classes are on Tuesday nights, so or Zoom from 6:30 to 8:30. So if there's also sufficient interest in an in-person afternoon class, we will meet from 2:30 to 4:30 at the Inspiration Cafe in Paoli, Pennsylvania. This course offers the possibility of deepening current connections with people in your world and establishing new and wholesome friendships through developing more effective attitudes, patterns, and tools for successful relationships. How you guys doing over there? You good? Okay. Everyone has relationships, some intimate, others professional or neighborly, but all requiring conscious communication, mutual respect, and shared appreciation. In these 4 weeks, you will have the opportunity to deepen and heighten the experience of true intimacy, both with yourself and others with whom you share your world. You'll be invited to dispel outmoded ideas about relationships, take responsibility to create a healthy environment of love, and learn to be at peace with yourself and others. Moving into an entirely new arena of possibility, you will be encouraged to develop a consciousness of mutually appreciative and respectful communication. The heart's expansion to view all contents of one's life is in a context of love, and workability is the most empowering activity of all. You will discover a safe, supportive, fun-filled environment in which to learn how to live and love more consciously and creatively. There's no tuition for this course, and love offerings are gratefully accepted. There is no required text, and the workbook fee will be $10. Good deal. Our second class, offered by Reverend Mike Gerdes, is a 10-week journey entitled Life is a Journey, Not a Destination, a Journey in Consciousness with Ralph Waldo Emerson. That's good. Emerson. We will journey through the writings of the most significant and influential writer in American history, Ralph Waldo Emerson, the founder of the Transcendental Movement. His ideas on individualism, nature, and self-reliance continue to be highly regarded today. In the religious science movement, while Thomas Troward epitomizes the science of our religion, Emerson epitomizes the religion of our science. Classes begin on Zoom Thursday, March 2nd at 6:30 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just as an aside, I wrote a show back in the 90s. It was an interactive show that included Emerson. And it was a Poe festival up at the Mount Hope where the Renaissance Fair was. And I wrote and directed it, and Emerson was one of my characters, and I got into it a little bit because I had to write about him and do a show with him. And his writings were absolutely wonderful, so I'm very interested in that. And finally, excuse me, Cheryl Macklin is leading a 7-week Good Grief support group in person starting Wednesday, March 15th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. in Paoli, Pennsylvania. This 7-week session explores grief as a getaway to transformation. Life is a continuous series of beginnings and endings. Grief is a normal response to loss, and the grief process can be a path to powerful transformation. It is important to honor and fully embrace both endings and new beginnings. This group is open to anyone who would like to share a healing experience with others in relation to losses he or she has experienced. If you're here today and have any questions, feel free to talk to Cheryl. If you'd like to join any of our classes or workshops, just go to our website, www.cslphilly.org, and click on the link on the pop-up screen on the home page. Our next in-person celebrations will be held in Eagleville next Sunday, March 19th. No, that doesn't sound right. Yeah. Next month, March 15th at 19th. Yeah, this says 19th here. Okay, so 19th is the date? Okay, next month. Did everyone get that? All right. In addition, we invite you to arrive at 10 a.m. for our morning meditation time. If you are watching us enjoy our Sunday celebrations and love notes on our Facebook and YouTube channel, you know what to do. Be sure to like, to subscribe, and share with others. When you subscribe, you will receive notices anytime our videos are uploaded. And that's it. Thank you very much. Have a great week.
Sitting. Oh, I have a couple of things. When a person concludes an accredited class, there is a certificate that is sent from Centers for Spiritual Living in Colorado. And when we can, we give these certificates to people who are here in person, and otherwise, Linda O'Neill is very happy to mail them. But this is a lot more fun. So I have 2 today. These are certificates from the Essential Ernest Holmes that was concluded on November 15th, 2022. Oh, that was so last year. It was a wonderful class, and I would like to invite Georgiana Gord and Laurel Barr to come up here and receive your certificates. Congratulations. If either of you would like to say anything about how fun it is to take classes, you're welcome to do that.
I never miss a chance to be in front of the mic. Yeah, the classes are wonderful. The classes give you an opportunity to step out of the normal day-to-day activities and step into what really matters. And that's the presence of God, and that's learning more, and that's deepening, as we heard today, the divine essence. All right, so thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you, Georgie. Oh, that's yours.
Wait, don't go anywhere. I want to take pictures.
Okay. Let me put this back first. Thank you. Laurel, what would you like
Yeah,
to say?
I'm new to the center. I started here, well, I guess I'm not that new anymore,
No.
but I've taken many courses, and I just want to tell everybody out there that if you are thinking about it, go ahead and do it. It's well worth your time, your mind, your thinking, new people you will become close to and love, and they will love you in turn. And it's really worth it. I thank you.
Thank you. That was perfect. And it's so true. What they both said is so true. And what's wonderful is that most of these classes are on Zoom. So we have Floridians, Californians, even Canadians. Yeah. And it becomes family. You know, much like Reverend Mike's Saturday morning Science of Mind book study. It's family. It's just little pockets of family, and then we all come together, and we're big family. It's like a reunion every time we could do that. So I'm very, very happy about being with you today. Next week we will be Zooming, or not Zooming, but both YouTube and Facebook coming to you live stream from Paoli. So you get to tune in to us next week from Paoli, Pennsylvania, where the Eagles are today flying, right? I love how everybody dressed in green and hats and sweatshirts and everything. That's great. That's it. So our closing song, and we will hear it rather than see it today, but it was written by Daniel Nahmod and performed a few years ago by our Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living music team. Yay, team! Let's hear it.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. One more verse. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now.
And we go forth having decided that love leads the way, that we are the change agents, that we have the soul power within our hearts to make a difference in our own lives and in this beautiful world. And so it is.